All right, we've all been there, right? That moment someone turns to you and says, "So, tell me about yourself," and your mind just goes blank. Well, today, we're going to flip that feeling of dread into an opportunity you can actually master. We're going to give you the tools to make a confident, impactful first impression every single time.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Your palms get a little sweaty, you can't think of a single interesting thing about yourself, and you end up mumbling something you immediately wish you could take back. It feels like a pop quiz you never ever studied for. But don't you worry, today we are cracking the code on this exact moment.
So first up, the confidence foundation. See, before we even think about the words to say, we got to get our heads in the right space. Because a truly great introduction isn't built on a perfect script, it's built on a rock-solid mindset.
That is absolutely right. The very first step has nothing to do with your fancy job title or all your accomplishments. Nope, it's all about adopting a mental framework that sets you up for success before you even open your mouth.
And here's the single biggest mindset shift you need to make. We so often treat introductions like we're on stage, like it's a performance, and we're being judged. Let's just throw that whole idea out. The goal isn't to perform, the goal is to connect. You're just building a small bridge to another person. That's it. No perfection required.
So let's lock in these beliefs right now. First, assume they genuinely want to meet you. I mean, they asked, right? Second, remember this is a conversation. It is not a test with a pass or fail grade. And be curious about them. And maybe most importantly, trust that you have something valuable to bring to the table. Your perspective, your experience, it matters.
Okay, part 2, crafting your content. Now that our mindset is right where it needs to be, let's figure out what to actually say. And the good news? There's a super simple framework for it. We're going to banish that awkward so forever. From now on, we're going to use a clear 3-step structure that's so easy to remember and works in pretty much any situation. It just takes all the guesswork out of it. Here it is. It's so powerful because it creates a tiny little story, and our brains are totally wired to remember stories. You start with the present. Hi, I'm Sam. Easy. Then past present. I'm a software developer. That gives some context. But here's where the magic happens. The future. And I'm passionate about building apps that make people's lives easier. See? That last part shows your purpose, and that's what makes you memorable. And you can just feel the difference, can't you? Over on the left, it's a total dead end. Just awkward silence. But on the right, it's a complete mini-story. It's engaging, it's informative, and it totally opens the door for follow-up questions. That's a complete game changer. Now, this is a really crucial point. This formula, it's your blueprint, not a rigid script you have to memorize. You've got to adapt it. For a job interview, you're probably going to focus on your professional goals. But at a party, you might talk about a personal passion or a cool hobby. The 3-part structure stays the same, but the content changes depending on where you are. All right, part 3, delivering with impact. You've got the mindset, you've got the words, but how you say it, well, that can matter just as much, if not more. So let's dive into the power of your nonverbal delivery. You know, it's an old saying for a reason, because it's so true. Your nonverbals speak volumes. Your posture, your tone, your eye contact, they're all sending powerful messages before you even finish your first sentence. Your delivery is what gives your words their real meaning. And get this, 7 seconds. Studies show that's how fast people form a pretty solid first impression of you. 7. That is an incredibly short window, which is why your nonverbal cues are so critical from the very first moment. So here's your checklist for success. Stand tall, shoulders back. That immediately signals confidence. Look the other person in the eye. It's how you build trust. Offer a firm handshake. Come on, nobody likes a limp fish. And it's not just tradition. A firm handshake can actually release oxytocin, the trust hormone. A real, genuine smile creates warmth instantly. And finally, just slow down. Don't rush your words. Speak clearly. And if you ever doubted the power of nonverbals, check this out. A classic communication model suggests that our words, the actual things we say, account for only 7% of a message's impact. 7%. The vast majority comes from our body language and our vocal tone. It's just wild. And that's exactly why practicing how you say it is just as important as what you say. And finally, part 4, making it stick. Because here's the thing, a great introduction doesn't end when you stop talking. The real goal is to turn your little monologue into a real dialogue. This right here is the secret weapon of all great conversationalists. After you've shared your little piece, you immediately pass the baton. You shift the spotlight from you to them. And that shows you're not just there to talk about yourself, You're genuinely there to connect.
We call this the conversational bridge. It's that simple little question at the end of your intro that turns a statement into a dialogue. This is what transforms a simple hello into a truly memorable interaction.
And here are some incredibly easy ones you can start using tonight. The classic, "And that's a bit about me. How about you?" It always works. Or you can get a little more specific. "So, what brings you to this event?" Or, "I'd love to hear what you're working on." They're simple, open-ended questions that invite the other person right into the conversation.
So we've covered the mindset, the content, the delivery, and the dialogue. But listen, none of this becomes natural without one thing: practice. Seriously, say your intro out loud in the mirror. Record it on your phone and listen back. The more you rehearse, the more natural and confident you'll become. Because this is a skill, and it's a skill that anyone can learn.
So there you have it, a complete toolkit for making an amazing first impression. You have the mindset, the formula, the delivery checklist, you're ready. So the only question left is, whose hand will you shake first? Go out there and make that connection.